Hello, friends. This is Snigdha Kakkar from Accelerate AI Careers. Many of you have reached out to me on LinkedIn how to transition to data science, how I made my transition, how do I find data science more interesting, how do we make career in generative AI, and like what kind of work I do at IBM and everything, right? So I will start with my career journey. I did my engineering back home from India in 2010 to 14 batch, and my engineering was not computer science. My engineering was electrical and electronics engineering with the focus on neural networks and fuzzy logic, of course. But at that time, it was not such a big thing. I had one or two courses of it. After my engineering, I joined Verizon in Chennai, South India, as a software developer. And I was not doing very interesting work. I was doing a quality assurance work, QA job for 2 years, where I learned some important tools such as SQL, Python in a industry setup, and Unix and mainframe. So my job was not that interesting like a data science or data analyst job. It was a basic quality assurance job, but I wanted something more interesting. I thought like maybe I should add some value to my engineering degree with an MBA so that I have the business perspective as well. Because I realized like if you want to grow within your career in your company, you need to have some master's degree. So I thought to go with an MBA. I wrote CAT and XAT exam at that time. I prepared with the job along with it. I got 99.76 percentile in CAT and 98.56 percentile in XAT. I cleared like almost all the IMs except IM A, IM B, and IM I. I got all the IMs and I got Accelerate. So I wanted to do MBA in HR and marketing. At that time, I didn't think about going in consulting or going in research or staying in software. I found products and brands very interesting, and I wanted to go in consumer goods company and do something in HR or marketing. Like I had that vision for career for myself. So I got Accelerate and I went for my MBA there. I was amongst the top 20 in my batch there. And I took up all the courses related to labor laws and human relations and performance management and compensation and appraisals and all whatnot. So I got my internship there in my MBA at ITC, Indian Tobacco Company in Kolkata, for HR strategy role for the personal care products, basically, that division. So I did my internship successfully at ITC. I really enjoyed doing it. But I found that the work culture was a bit slow for me. I used to like fast paced work, a lot of interesting things to do rather than slowly running around doing the same thing for months. So I realized that that is not for me. Then I started getting inclined more toward consulting roles, primarily because I wanted that adventure. I wanted that drive to do different kind of tasks for different clients. And I got that opportunity because several consulting companies visited to our campus for interviews. And at that time, Everest Research Group came to our campus and I cleared all of its rounds and I got the senior analyst role in Everest Research. So I joined them in Gurgaon. I published four major publications there in technology, research, and consulting, and I served several clients there. I also worked on UiPath implementation publication there. It was the bestseller for the month at that time. We sold almost 125 copies. So after that, I met my husband online on a wedding portal, and we really liked interacting with each other. And I thought like maybe this is for me. And he was residing in Canada. He was a University of Waterloo graduate. Then I thought like I should apply for my PR if I want to go ahead with it. And I applied for my permanent residence in Canada. So that's how it all began. It was not a professional motivation to move here in Canada. It was a personal motivation. And it was not some glorifying life of Canada or job offers here or anything. I just felt like I am finding a right partner and I should make a move for him here. And I got my PR before our wedding. We got married and I moved here as a PR. When I applied through Express Entry alone, standalone basis, so I can make a separate video how I applied it, how I got the PR, but that's a separate thing. So I moved to Vancouver in 2019 May. And in my first 3 months, I wrote IELTS academic just to have an IELTS score as well. I had an IELTS general training score, but I didn't have an IELTS academic score. So I wrote that, and I thought maybe this might be useful just in case if I have to apply for certain roles and they want to prove that my English is good or something. Because I felt nobody knew my universities back home yet. Even though I graduated from National Institute of Technology, Hamirpur, or XLRI, Jamshedpur, which are big names back India, but they are not very well known here in Canada. So, first 3 months, I was only applying for HR research roles or technology research roles in companies such as Twitter or in banks such as RBC, etc. I didn't have any direction or any guidance where to start my journey from. I felt like all the head offices are majorly in Ontario and not in BC, and I might benefit from going to Ontario, and hence we made a move from Vancouver to Toronto. And that's how we decided to move to Toronto. So I came to Canada in May 2019, and I moved to Toronto in August 2019, like just in 3 months. And I had my NETS academic score by then. And I also got RPR designation. It's a recruitment designation here, a certification. So the HR industry is very regulated here. You have to clear all the certifications to be employed or to be eligible to be employed in the base HR roles, not like in the very high level roles. So I did CHRP from HRPA and CHRL from HRPA. It was like 11 or 12 exams, similar to what we have like in IS and IES back home. So it took me 6, 7 months to do all those certifications. But then I realized again, if I have those certifications, then also I'm starting with a high school graduate here. Like there is no difference between me and him, even though I have 2 or 3 degrees, and that person doesn't even have a degree. So I thought, like, no, 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 I cannot start my career from this point when I have seen success to that level. So I thought, like, it's better to utilize my technology or data science or engineering profession, my engineering degree, rather than continuing with my MBA degree. And that was an inflection point. That's how I thought don't want to start from the bottom. I want to reach the level where I was at least back home. And I made a switch to data science, but I didn't have the data science credentials. I didn't have the data science, you know, all that knowledge and everything. So I started from very bottom. I started revisiting my Java coding skills, my Python coding skills, and I followed a lot of YouTube channels and lot of blogs on towards data science and machine learning mastery. I started learning basic concepts and then implementing projects on my GitHub. And I started doing lead code a lot. So that's how I realized that I wanted to do something in engineering. Right now, also, I hadn't decided to move to data science, just in engineering. And I also got to know that what all I need to prepare. My husband was a Waterloo graduate, so I have a friend circle who were all either University of Toronto graduates or University of Waterloo graduates. So they all motivated me to apply for a master's. And then I applied for master's to 3 universities: University of Waterloo, University of Toronto, and Toronto Metropolitan University, Ryerson University. And there was a professor in Ryerson, Professor Reza. He basically reached out to me on LinkedIn and he asked me to apply for an MASc program instead of a master's program, a master's in applied sciences. And he told he will fund my education if I do research with him in deep learning. So he gave me an offer to research in deep learning and do a master's in Ryerson, which was all paid. I thought, like, why not? I'm not anyways doing anything. It's better to go ahead with that opportunity rather than sitting at home and just trying to do code and everything. I thought I should explore it. That's how my journey started. And my first term at Ryerson was very fruitful. I really enjoyed doing the data science courses and cloud courses and all. So I thought, like, this is something really interesting. And I was totally astonished to see the impact of data analysis on my research. So I thought, like, this is something I really want to do. Then my friends came into picture again. They told, why are you doing it from Ryerson? You can get a better brand. And I got the admit from University of Waterloo during that time. And I thought, like, I should not continue with Ryerson even though it's paid. I should move to Waterloo since it's a better recognition, better brand there, and I might have better job prospects after the degree. And hence I made my switch from Ryerson to University of Waterloo in the next term. And University of Waterloo, I did my master's in engineering with a specialization in artificial intelligence and deep learning. So my all the courses were catered to machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, computer vision, image processing, or object detection, all these things. I even took one course in social robotics. So basically, starting from an engineering in electrical and electronics from NIT Hamirpur, I came to University of Waterloo with a specialization in deep learning. During that time, my age was 30 and I was pregnant with my daughter. So when I started my degree at Waterloo, I was 4 months pregnant. It was my maternity leave going on. And yeah, it was a little hectic. And if you have to do group projects here, so there are 40 to 50% weightage of group projects in every course. And none of the students are actually married, or most of the students do not have kids, right? And I was expecting. So it was very difficult to convince other people to trust you that you would be giving your 100% to the course, to the assignments. So I approached my professors and I got their permissions to do everything individually. Most of the courses, I did the 50% of weightage of work, the assignments on my own or in collaboration with one student rather than having an entire group, because I wanted to prove that I can do it and I can do it better. And my constant support and guidance there was my friend circle, of course, who was from the same university, and they motivated me what to do and what not to do. And also Professor Mark Korodi and Professor Hetham Omar from University of Waterloo. Like, they guided me throughout and they supported me. And I was able to do my entire master's with a 4 GPA, like 4 on 4 GPA, without a loss of a single mark. And I did all the projects successfully, and I got an internship offer from IBM. That's a whole different story. So I applied for 205 roles with custom resumes, custom cover letters in a week. And within a span of week, I got 3 job conversions, which were RBC, BlackBerry, and IBM. BlackBerry, my husband had interned 8 years back. He didn't have a good experience, so I didn't choose to go with them. RBC, the role was not that interesting at that time, so I thought I will take the IBM's offer. IBM's role was a machine learning engineer, and I started my internship there. I did my first month of internship there, and I really enjoyed doing it. And I like the team as well. So I approached the manager and told him that I'm also looking for full-time roles. I'm looking outside, like just in case you have some role inside, let me know. So within a day or two, I got a full-time offer from them. And the full-time offer was for a data science position. And I got the data science consultant role from IBM in that span of my internship itself. During my internship, I work on a very interesting project which was related to data science and machine learning operations, MLOps. And then I developed more interest in MLOps side. So when I joined IBM full time, I joined them in May 2023. I worked like a lot, like a day and night, and took up more than one projects at the same time. And I worked with big clients since the time I joined. I never took a break, like not even a day when I was not billing a client. And I explored so many avenues. So I was on top of all the natural language processing projects. So when generative AI came into picture, I volunteered to do all the starting pilot because I knew NLP from core. Like, I had my master's from deep learning and I had so many projects which I have done in speech processing, in text processing, in any kind of text analysis. So I volunteered for the initial pilots, and that's how I became more acquainted with generative AI, and I became a member of generative AI COE at IBM. And that's how it progressed. Since I was so good in NLP and in my consulting skills, I got a expedited promotion. Instead of waiting for 2 years for a promotion, I got promoted to senior data scientist position within a span of 9 months of my joining IBM full time. So that was a big achievement for me. And my journey doesn't end here. So I have been working a lot in terms of enhancing my skills more. staying abreast with all the popular LLMs and what is happening in generative AI, doing all the projects hands on. And my biggest learning from all of these experiences is that adversities hit everyone in one or the other form. If I have seen it in one form, you have seen it in another form. But the one thing which kept me going was that I wanted to see myself successful. I didn't want my daughter to know me just as a mom. I'm not saying that that's bad. I'm just saying that I wanted her to know me for my passion, for my zeal, for my drive, to make something out of my career, to make something out of my life. And I want her to get inspired from my career journey. And I want to reach those heights like Sundar Pichai and all who launched these products. So this is my career journey. If you want to know about a particular segment more, let me know and I'll make a separate video for it. You can comment here for more details so that I know exactly what is of interest to you and I can delve deeper into it. How I started my journey in lead code is another story. How I chose to code in Python in lead code, that's a different thing. And any specific lead code videos you want to know, how I cracked XLRI, how I cracked University of Waterloo, what kind of resumes or cover letters I used to apply for my internships or full-time jobs. That's another thing. So let me know what interests you and I'm happy to help. Thank you for taking interest in my career journey. And if you want to know more, like I said, mention in the comments and I will address your questions specifically. Subscribe to my channel for content on popular LLMs, generative AI and AI and data science. So if you want me to address any specific topics in those, let me know, but do subscribe to my channel. Thank you.